Alright, well, here's what we got. Welcome, I'm the carpet guy. Today we're going to be dealing with that. We don't know what that is. Customer suspects that we may have a juice, like a roast beef kind of a juice stain here. I am thinking maybe coffee, or, I'm not saying that that's wrong, but it's something along those lines. So you can see, looking by this, it's nice and dark. And let's see what we got here. And I haven't done any pre-testing on this or anything, so you're pretty much just watching this live action. I don't say I don't know what I'm doing, but obviously I'm the carpet guy, I know what I'm doing, but we're just going to see what this responds to here. Perfect. I like it. You can see how I'm doing this. Very, 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 very important. Here's one thing I always tell people. I'm going to show you a very careful way to prep your towel that you're working with. You want to fold it nice and gently. And then here's what I want you to do. What I want you to do is I want you to take that towel and I want you to place it right here on your arm. And then what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and rub right there on that inside sensitive part of your arm, exactly like you did the last time you had a stain on your carpet. Oh, is that the look you have on your face? Oh my God. If I do that, I'll like rip the skin off my arm. Ah, there's the point. Carpet is stupid. It can't say, ow, you're hurting me. So if you're the kind of person that likes to take your nice towel and then rub the living snot out of what you're working on, just as you're ripping up and damaging your skin, you're also ripping up and damaging the carpet. It's stupid. It can't say, ow. And once you scratch those fibers all up and take the twist of the carpet, now you've got an afro. And heaven forbid you actually, and I have to tell this story. I've been waiting to tell this on video. I have a customer call me about a week or so ago. Tells me his dog gets a hold of a beta-carotene tablet. Now, it's a stain I've never seen before. Again, 12, 13 years, thousands of carpet jobs, I'm still getting new stuff. Well, he decided to work on it himself. First, he started with water and scrubbed it with a scrub brush. That was the part that really freaked me out. And it's an olefin Berber, by the way. Second, he got the club soda. That did a little bit. Third, he went and got the foaming dog shampoo, something or other, some generic stuff that he got at the pet store. Then he tried that. He still wasn't getting it out, so then he switched to soft scrub. Well, here I am as the carpet guy, and he's calling me up and saying I have a beta-carotene stain. No, you had a beta-carotene stain. Now you have a beta-carotene, some kind of foaming shampoo and soft scrub stain on your carpet. Lord knows we have things mixed into the carpet that have never been mixed together by human science, so who the heck knows how that's going to work. Now, I haven't gotten over, actually, I did get a hold of him and told him to neutralize everything with some real basic stuff. And this is a great tip. Hydrogen peroxide. As a matter of fact, if I had some with me, well actually I do, I've got some 20 volume, but that's a little strong. If I had some hydrogen peroxide, I would bet that hydrogen peroxide would work exceptionally well on this. Hydrogen peroxide is nothing more than 3% H2O2. You got that extra oxygen floating around in there. It's basically, if you're familiar with what an antioxidant does, that extra oxygen floating around is looking for a hydrogen to grab a hold of. You've ever heard the term free radical. It does a great job of that extra oxygen, grabs a hold of the hydrogens of the bad stuff and takes it away. It works the same thing in your body as it does on these carpet spots. I am using, actually, and you can see my results here, getting real nice transfer with that. I am using my famous spot remover that you can find available on my website to purchase. And I'd tell you the name, but I'm going to edit it in later because I haven't decided exactly which one I'm going to market yet. I'm still working on a couple of deals, but we'll see how that works out. But notice how I'm adsorbing. I'm blotting very gently. What I'm doing is I'm adsorbing that spot right onto the towel. And if you've watched many of my videos, you've heard me say this multiple times. Successful cleaning takes place when you choose in advance what's going to get dirty next. Notice I'm putting on very small amounts of that detergent. I'm not doing the big, oh, my technical term. That's a carpet guy technical term, but isn't that how most of the time most of us like to work on spots? Oh my gosh, I got a horrible spot on my carpet. And we just juice up, way more stuff than the spot needs. Here I'm keeping a very good control on that amount of juice that I'm putting on the carpet. As I like to say, carpet guy magic juice. But again, you can keep watching here. I keep forgetting I've got two cameras running here. I like to move around as much as I normally do. But you can see the after right there. No special trick of magic. No magic editing going on here. You're actually seeing this one happen live and in person. So what do you think, customer guy who's standing in the background?
Your customer is impressed.
And let me give you a little background on my customer here. My customer here is a guy that has a very, very solid education in the carpet business. Used to work in the hotel industry and also used to sell carpet. So he pretty much knew what he was dealing with here, that this wasn't something he just wanted some yahoo carpet cleaning guy coming in here. And it's a very, very nice condo in Sarasota, Florida area, and saving this carpet is of utmost of value to him because he's looking at a many $1,000 replacement if this needs to be replaced, and that wouldn't be good. We definitely don't want that to happen. I'm suspecting, just by working on this, that potentially one of the other techniques that you see me use regularly, if you've watched a bunch of my videos, that the glass of water shop vac extraction would probably have worked fairly effectively on this as well. Again, cheap, free, easy. The only thing it costs you is a little bit of time to clean the yuccamitis out of your shop vac. Yuccamitis, that's a carpet guy technical term. That's all the stuff that's going to come out of this, plus all the dirt that's already mixed up in your shop vac. When you mix that all together, you get yuccamitis. Yuccamitis should not be confused with yakamitis. Yakamitis would be something that proceedeth from the mouth, which is also not to be confused with mucolyptus. Mucolyptus, of course, is anything that proceedeth from the nose. So anybody who's ever had a cat that's gotten sick, you now have a new carpet term that you can share with your friends. That stuff that comes out of their nose and gets all over everything and sets up like the most amazing super glue on the face of the planet, that would be mucolyptus.
I'm impressed, especially since I did not want to attack it on my own, because as you had pointed out, if indeed somebody tries to clean a mystery spot, they don't know what caused it, they could be ruining the carpet.
Exactly. Notice this customer's intelligence level. You can hear him speaking. He is obviously a very intelligent type of a man. He leads me right into one of my favorite spotting tips. If you have something happen to your carpet, and let's say you spill, I don't want to use anything specific, but let's just say you do something and your very first reaction to that is, oh, I don't have the slightest idea what to do. The next thing that you should do is stop. Because I'm going to tell you, the #1 chemical that ruins carpet does not come from underneath your kitchen sink. It comes from deep down here inside your brains, called your pituitary gland, that produces adrenaline. That is the #1 chemical that ruins carpet. I've seen so many people have some catastrophic event. I had a lady not too long ago having a big party. The dog apparently had gotten a hold of somebody's coat. They had these big, party glasses and stuff, and the only thing she can figure, this dog was like 7 or 8 years old and had never, ever, ever gone to the bathroom in the house. But she figures he must have just got a hold of some pop, and he started telling her that he wanted outside and he didn't make it, and just pretty much let loose right there in front of everybody, right by her sliding glass door. And that wouldn't have been such a bad thing. But in the panic, her husband went and grabbed the Clorox cleanup. Oops. She had a post-dyed nylon fiber. Post-dyed means that dye is not very stable, and she ended up with about a $500 or $600 bleach job instead of a just solve the dog pee spot, which would have been a very, very minimal charge, $75, $100 maybe tops. She ended up, I don't remember exactly what I charged her, $500 or $600, which was actually far less than I should have, because I spent about 7 hours dyeing all those spots back that hubby had. Again, the product itself the product itself obviously, quote, did the ruining, but if you want to get technical about it, that product will never harm your carpet whatsoever, as long as it never touches it.
That must be the most concentrated spot.
Yep, that's
right in the middle.
Well, and again, customer guy points out something. Notice how I've worked on this spot. I started on the edges where it was just a bunch of dribblies and whatever, and I'm working my way towards the center, because he is correct, this is the most concentrated spot, and I'm assuming, can you actually see that in the video where the towel's changing color?
I can see it from up here.
Oh yeah.
All right. and see what's happening. Notice I haven't rubbed or anything. I just put my little detergent on there, and I'm just sitting here letting that stuff, again, we want to say adsorb because it's AD. It's actually sticking. The water is actually, the crud is getting transferred into the towel. Absorb if you want to use a technical term, but I prefer adsorb. That's what's actually happening. And there you go.
Wow.
Just one shot. I mean, it's
perfect.
Man, there's actually still a little bit there, but you can't see it from up there. I can see it down here. Now, this spot does look fairly deep. Like they're, especially here in the center where it was, you can see on this one, just barely getting it. I mean, you'd have to, Smiley's got us nice and close here. We're getting down into, we're getting to the point here where I don't have to wonder what's going to happen when I open up the towel, but you can just see how it's darkening up right in through here just a tad. And again, that's very, very important. Now, what I'm going to do with this spot when I'm done is I'm actually going to place an absorbent powder all over this area. And should there be any residual remaining crud berries down inside here, geez, now I'm introducing new carpet guy technical terms. But anyways, I'm going to put an absorbent powder over this should there be anything in the backing. And let's talk about that just a little bit. Many people think when a stain comes out like this and then it returns, it's coming out of the pad, which is 100% absolutely, totally, I should say it's 99.97% impossible. What's actually happening is, and I'm suspecting this carpet's acrylic. Acrylic is a very strong wicker. It's hydrophobic, meaning it doesn't like water. It's oilophilic, meaning it likes oil. You can see that in my video on acrylic. But because it's hydrophobic, it will constantly lift stuff up to the surface. And oftentimes in a bigger spill like this, you get enough of that stuff that's went down through the fibers, and where they curve up underneath, they're actually, if you look at the back of a piece of carpet, you see all the, I like to call it the big giant tic-tac-toe board. In between that, so if this is that part, that's the tic-tac-toe board, right here is where the carpet's actually woven down through that, and that is a very, very dense mesh. Very similar, if you were old enough to remember this, the lawn chairs, and that were real popular in the 70s, that were strips of a really tightly, super duper woven mesh. Well, that's actually where they punch the carpet down through. Every cut pile carpet actually started off life as a Berber. When it was made, obviously that needle had to punch that all the way through and loop it. It's a pretty neat process if you ever get a chance to. If you want to go see something cool on YouTube, go look up carpet manufacturing. It's pretty high tech. But then they snip that loop. Well, in between this part, which is the tic-tac-toe board, and that really tight weave, remember you got the fiber stuck down here, and I only have two hands, so I can't build anything three-dimensional. But the layer in between those two, there's a layer of clay and latex. They used to use 100% latex until the gas crisis of the early 70s, when oil prices shot through the roofs. The carpet manufacturers had to come up with some other options that were less expensive, so they figured out how to use, it's about 30%, it depends on the type of carpet, but it's around 25 to 30% clay, or I'm sorry, latex, with about, somewhere in the 70 to 75 range of a synthetic clay. Well, that clay, obviously, just like any kind of clay, is very absorbent. So a lot of times when you get spots that wick back, it's because it's in that clay. It's not in the backing. Now, the second reason is you use a detergent that's sticky, and then when the spot dries, it's sticky because you didn't get the soap out. So if you were doing this at home, you would want to make sure you took a glass of water or even a spray bottle, sprayed this all down real good. You don't want to soak the living snot out of it, but just, get it good and damp, and then run the crevice tool, your shop vac, over top of that. And I'm not doing that on the video simply because A, I don't need to, and two, that the noise is pretty deafening and you can't hear the carpet guy entertain you. But here's how you would do this as a homeowner. You're going to take this spot, you're going to find a book or a plant or something, and you're just going to take, I don't have any dry ones here, but you're just going to take a towel that's large enough to cover this area, and you're going to lay it down on top of that and then just weight it. A couple of books, a plant, just something to keep that weighted. So as that carpet dries, if there's any residual, and I know this one's dirty, but as you saw how it was absorbing just sitting here, as it dries, if this fiber starts pulling that stuff up that's out of that clay and latex filler, it'll wick right back up into the towel, and you'll have your spot solved. So, mystery stain solved. Customer guy, close this up. What do you think? Pretty cool?
I'm most impressed, and I've been in this kind of business ever since in my early 20s.
Wow, and you're probably not much more than mid-40s, I bet.
Who pays who here?
Exactly. Do I got paid for that? All right, this guy's been in the carpet business for some decades. How about let's just put it that way.